So, my name is Chris, and it's been on my mind to do a post on my website about how I came up with Close Your Eyes. And to a certain extent, I have to admit that I don't remember. I've mentioned on my website that Close Your Eyes was actually written circa the year 2000. I was writing it when I taught English in Japan in the late 90s, and I continued to write it up to somewhere around 2001 or so. I workshopped it at the Humber College Creative Writing School. That was the book I did there. So it was being written for a long time, for somewhere around 5 years probably. Um, how exactly I came up with a storyteller and a cook and a dwarf and the Mad King, I don't remember. But the geography of the place very much came from my year teaching English in Poland. So many of the place names are Polish, many of the people's names are Polish. Um, so that year definitely had an impact. What also had a huge impact, was just all the stuff I've been reading for so long now. My undergraduate degree was English Lit. I did minors in history and poli-sci, all this at U of T. But I also worked in bookstores. And for example, when you work in bookstores, one of the hazards is that um, this is a Joan of Arc book. Joan of Arc plays a part kind of in Close Your Eyes. When you work in bookstores, there's all these books that are on remainder, being sold off. And as a bookstore employee, you think, $5, what the heck? I'll go ahead and buy it. So anyway, these are just some books that I pulled out of my library here at my place. So where's this one, actually the Cantor book. This one, I mean, who reads this kind of stuff? It's ridiculous. Who reads this kind of thing? But anyway, I did. I read all this kind of stuff. History of Private Life. Where's the Medieval Lives? Women in Middle Ages. Where's the Castle one? It's in here somewhere. Medieval Castle. Where's the one about that some of the Catholic stuff, the atrocities? No, yeah, the Northern Crusades. Um, it's a boring book. I mean, I don't really remember it very well, but I do remember that it was boring. But my God, this is where a lot of the stuff about um, who was an infidel, who was non-Christian, and how the church dealt with them. And so I only make kind of brief references to that in Close Your Eyes because it's not really a key part of the story, but it helps give background to the time of that time. Anyway, so I was always reading this kind of nonfiction books, so my brain was bursting with knowledge, ideas, anecdotes from reading all this nonfiction. As far as fiction goes, and I've only been thinking about this today actually. As far as fiction that might have influenced me, all I can think of, I mean, like we all do, like any writer does, I read a lot of stuff, and some of my favorite writers I wouldn't even say would have had any effect on Close Your Eyes. But this guy, Banville, and these three books, especially the Kepler book, these are all set like Kepler's 1500s, 1571. Copernicus was, when was he? 1400s, I think. To be honest, I don't even remember the Hawksmoor book, but anyway, John Banville's writing in these three books would have had this medieval feeling to them. And I think when I look back, if anything regarding the feeling of Close Your Eyes, these would have helped. But also, besides books that I have in my possession, I better make this short. When I look through my notebooks, this is one of my notebooks, I was obviously making notes from library books that I would have returned. So Alexander, what's that name? Denomi, The Heresy of Courtly Love. I was reading for research. This would have been for research. Stuff about courtly love. Some interesting stuff actually. Courtly love is a direct contradiction of Christianity. Whatever commandment says, "Do not lust after another man's wife." Where's that? Oh yeah, the Albanesian heresy. It's thoughts about sensual pleasure, considered an origin for courtly love, and then a few writers that I think I make brief reference to in the book, and I think Tycho kind of scoffs at them. Anyway, all this kind of stuff is where the background information, the background feeling, and the thoughts about Europe and Gora and where all that came from.